I was taking a walk with a friend yesterday who suffered a concussion a few months ago, and she told me the worst part of the concussion healing process was the depression. And, we were chatting a little bit back and forth, and I told her that I've had some depressive moments too, dark night of the soul moments, as I put it. Um, after after I started experiencing Lyme symptoms this past summer, but before I had the diagnosis. And so I was really, there was some moments where I was feeling really physically awful. I'm sure that the bacteria in my body was affecting my mood, and I didn't know what was going on. Um, and then since the diagnosis, there's been some moments where I felt I could become depressed, or my mood was like on the low side. And what I asked her was, I asked her if she had done meditation at all, when she realized, when the concussion happened or when the depression started. And proceeded to tell her about how, as soon as I started feeling symptoms of malaise, before I was not diagnosed for a month, before I was diagnosed, I started feeling symptoms of malaise, immediately, basically. And I started doing hypnotherapy meditation and continued to do that kind of meditation throughout the month, even before I had the diagnosis, and then beyond. And what it did for me was that it helped me to did a few things. It helped me to stabilize my mood, because there were times when I could almost not move, like I could move, but it was really, really laborsome to move and a lot of discomfort. And that's very unnerving for someone like me I'm super physical. I use my body for my occupation as a yoga instructor, massage therapist, and I'm physical, I'm just a physical person. So to have that humbling experience of not feeling able to move. I mean, I'm used to aches and pains and finding ways to work with them, but this was a different ball game. And what the meditation did, alongside very appropriately chosen yoga, was those two things together almost completely brought me to level every morning. And I can't say enough about how powerful those two tools were. And this has been the truth for me. I started meditating, really, I would say, with true regularity in 2000. Well, it's been a building process, starting with breath work for a couple minutes in the morning, probably about, I don't know, maybe 2012 or something like that. But true meditation on the daily basis, 2017, 2018. And what I realized from my meditation practices is that when I went through a breakup with my partner, the father of my son, I was able to keep myself steady or return to steady quickly. When I went through the beginnings of a rocky relationship, same thing. It was very off kilter in my life, but coming back through meditation, when I had insomnia, I would meditate. When I was feeling helpless, I would meditate. I meditated every day just as maintenance, like brushing my teeth, So having the tool and then knowing what kind of meditation to choose at these different times has been, the ticket. When COVID happened and people were, just hit with major anxiety and depression in the world, I tasted it, But because every day I was sitting to meditate, it was more like I was aware of that potential in me. I was aware of it in the world. I was picking it up a bit, but I didn't experience it the way many people experienced it, because I really believe, because I had this tool of meditation in my life. And the same thing with my experience with Lyme. When the Lyme symptoms, I could choose a type of meditation because I've tried different kinds, because I've studied it, because I knew that there was a kind of meditation that would be helpful to me to actually reduce the pain in my body and elevate my emotion. And so when I listen to my friend talk, and I feel like this all the time when I listen to people talk, if only they had known, what kind of meditation to choose, and to choose meditation to make it a priority, because it's pretty simple. I mean, we're talking about, you are sitting somewhere or you are laying somewhere and you can listen to something. There's like millions of meditations on YouTube and all these different apps, and it's an explosive body of content. I have a few meditations on YouTube, but there are so many, and some of them are quite well done, and there are, wonderful teachers. I teach a fundamental course, but there are workshops and retreats, and, or you can just do it all digitally. You can read books. I mean, the body of information is out there. All we have to know is A, to ask the question, and B, to know we're worth it. Like, one has to feel worth sitting down for 10 to 20 minutes and not, doing the dishes or whatever the other, paying the bills or cleaning the house or going for the run even, or whatever the thing is that you feel like you have to do. You'll get to it. And also, by the way, we'll never get all the dishes done, but it really is a matter of knowing, believing your self-worth, and then finding out what is the meditation that's appropriate for you at the time. It's kind of like, it's like a lock on a key, a lock on, a lock code, right? So if you have a 4-digit lock code and the lock is 1, 3, 5, and 7, and you put in 2, 4, 6, and 8, you're never going to get that sucker open. You got to find the code, and our code could change from day to day. There are people out there, they can just do the same meditation every single day for 30 or 40 years, and it is perfect for them. That's the one. They stay on the course, they do that meditation. It is their anchor, it is their lamppost, and it keeps them, steady through the trials and tribulations of life. Other people, like me, can find a new code from phase to phase in life as is appropriate. But I promise you that there is some kind of meditation for everybody. Whether it's you have to kind of change, from time to time, or whether you're the person who chooses one and does it every day for the rest of your life. Whether you're someone who can be blessed to do 5 minutes of meditation, or whether you're someone who needs more than 5 minutes. I'm kind of 15 to like an hour. But I have come to realize I am worth it. And I am worth the benefits of the practice. And so for me, I just feel like it is more important to tend to the vessel first in that way than to get to the dishes or all of the other things. And I really, really think that there is a strategy and a way that everybody can work this into their lives to mitigate the potential downfalls that could come. There's a yoga sutra that I absolutely love that says, I mean, it's translated different ways, but essentially it says the suffering that could come should be avoided. Yes, like there's going to be problems. It's going to happen, but we should do our best to steer away from driving into the problem. I mean, if you see a car crash happening, do you drive into the car crash? No, you try to swerve around it or take a turn and get, into better traffic. And this is how we should treat ourselves. Do your best to turn away from the problems that could be created in your life or that you could create in your life through your choices. And when there are problems, which there's gonna be, it's gonna happen, right? When there are problems, learning what choices that we can make so that we don't put extra salt in the wound. It's kind of first aid for this, for the being, for the spirit, for the mind. And so when there's things that occur that could cause depression because of a physiological or chemical reaction, why not choose something that could mitigate the depression? I mean, I have watched so many friends with cancer and autoimmune situations, and now me learning to understand Lyme, the concussion situations. I'm a massage therapist. I have treated people with pain for 25 years. A lot of depression can come. Why not choose something to mitigate that? You're worth it. We're worth it. And by the way, the people you live with are worth it also. Your neighbors are worth it. The people who you drive with on the road are worth it. Like, the world will benefit from you taking care of yourself. So you're worth it. They're worth it. There's a way to do it. So the question is, are you willing to do that for yourself? Are you willing? And if you're not, then why? What is the part of you? What's the part that there's a part in there that thinks it's protecting you from something, and God bless it. But, maybe get to know that part and understand why there's some resistance there and learn what it's trying to do for you. Because I promise you that whatever is within you that is putting up a block or a wall against a practice like meditation, it thinks it's doing you a favor. And once it realizes that you're on your side, then that part will soften down, and you'll be able to more effectively make room for yourself in this way with true self-love, not the kind of self-love like, I'm going to take a bath. That's nice, but that doesn't take care of the deep stuff. We've got to unearth the deep stuff that's preventing us from doing the good things for ourselves that will nurture our beings. So if there's a block, that's when you need to call up your local or not local coach or therapist. I help people with this in my coaching, transformational guidance coaching work, but there are so many great resources. So find your resource, make sure that resource is not keeping you on a hamster wheel. Like, if you're not changing when you work with somebody, then switch lanes, get in a different car, get in a bus instead of the train, whatever you got to do. Find somebody who's going to help you unearth the blocks, find ways to learn appropriate practices for you, find out what kind of meditation that you can do, because I promise you, I am so I believe this so wholeheartedly. There is a kind of meditation for everybody. I believe it, and I believe everybody will benefit. I believe it. I would be hard pressed to accept an argument otherwise. So I feel really passionate about this, and I really feel like if people could only know, So I hope this is encouraging to you. And if you feel encouraged, I mean, right now it's September 20th, 2023. I've got a local workshop coming up for meditation fundamentals, just to help them understand why and what and how. But there are 1,000 ways to learn this practice, and you can learn from me individually, you can learn from other teachers, but please consider yourself worth learning for, please. I hope you got some encouragement out of this. And if you got something out of this, please do all the things. You can like it, you can share it, you can comment on it. I'm putting this up on YouTube, but I'm going to be sharing it, elsewhere. So please share it as it feels appropriate. Thank you so much.